Your anger doesn't make you powerful. It makes you predictable. Have you noticed that? The moments you're most certain you're right, the moments your blood runs hot and your voice rises, the moments you feel most justified in your reaction, those are the exact moments someone else is controlling you. Not inspiring you, not challenging you, controlling you. Like a puppeteer pulling strings you don't even see. You think passion is strength. You've been told your whole life that strong reactions mean you care deeply. That if you don't react, you don't stand for anything. But here's what no one told you. Every time you react without choosing to, you handed your power to whatever triggered you. The loud colleague, the disrespectful comment, the political post, the text that didn't come. They're not just annoying you. They're directing you, and you're following their script perfectly. Marcus Aurelius wrote something in his private journal that cuts through all of this. You have power over your mind, not outside events. But here's the part that stings. If you have power over your mind, and you still react like you don't, then who really has the power? The answer is uncomfortable. The thing that triggered you does. The person who knows exactly how to set you off does. Your identity itself, the idea of who you think you are, does. The problem isn't that you react. The problem is that your reactions are predictable, automatic, which means they're not really yours. They're programs running in the background. And the people who know your buttons can run those programs anytime they want. Think about that. The things you pride yourself on, your principles, your boundaries, your unshakable beliefs, those aren't armor. They're the instruction manual someone else is reading. They can flip to the exact page that controls you and watch you respond exactly as expected, every single time. By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your strongest convictions are making you weaker, and what control actually looks like. When no one can touch you anymore. Let me show you what this looked like when it mattered. Cade Brennan was the kind of man who wore his intensity like a badge. Strong jaw. That scar on his left cheek from a fight he'd won. He didn't just have opinions, he had principles. And he defended them loudly, publicly. He thought that made him strong, uncompromising. But there was this one night, the dinner with colleagues, when everything cracked open. Someone made a comment, dismissive, about something Cade had built, something he'd sacrificed for, and he felt it immediately. That heat in his chest, that tightness in his throat. His hands gripped the edge of the table. Everyone went quiet. They knew what was coming. They'd seen it before. Cade always had the perfect comeback, the cutting response that ended arguments, and he opened his mouth to deliver it. But then he stopped, not because he didn't have the words. He had them loaded and ready. He stopped because for the first time he saw something else. He saw how much they wanted him to react, how the person who made the comment was leaning in slightly, waiting, almost smiling. And in that split second, Cade realized something that changed everything. This wasn't about being right or wrong. This was about being predictable. They knew exactly what he'd do. They'd set the trap and he was about to walk into it. Again. So he did something he'd never done. He smiled. Not a fake smile. A real one. Because suddenly the whole thing looked different. He wasn't defending his principles. He was performing his identity, and the performance was so rehearsed that other people could write the script for him. He took a sip of water, let the silence hang there, and then he said something simple. You might be right. 3 words, no explanation, no defense, no counterattack, and the power in the room completely shifted, because now there was nothing to push against. The trap closed on empty air. Marcus Aurelius would have recognized that moment. He spent his life watching senators and generals who thought their passionate speeches made them powerful. But he knew different. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, not because revenge is wrong, but because reacting is losing. The moment you need to defend yourself, you've already been defeated. Not in the argument. In something deeper. In the game itself. Cade told me later what that night taught him. Every time he'd reacted before, every time he'd felt that surge of righteous anger, he thought he was protecting something important. His values, his reputation, his identity. But he was actually revealing his weakness. He was showing everyone exactly how to control him. Just threaten the thing he's attached to. Just question the identity he's built. And watch him dance. Watch him perform on command, like a trained animal responding to a stimulus it can't resist. The strongest people you know aren't the ones with the quickest comebacks, or the loudest voices, or the most unwavering principles. They're the ones you can't move, not because they don't care, but because they've separated who they are from how they react. You can insult them and they'll consider it. You can dismiss them and they'll observe it. You can attack what they've built and they'll examine if you're right. They're not weak. They're untouchable. Because nothing you do can force them to be anything other than what they choose. That's the difference between strength and control. Strength reacts to protect itself. Control doesn't need protection because it's not performing an identity. It's not defending a reputation. It's not attached to being seen a certain way. It simply is. And nothing outside it can change that. So here's what you do. Next time you feel that surge, that heat in your chest that means someone just hit your button, pause for 3 seconds. Not to calm down. Not to choose your words carefully, but to ask one question. Am I responding or am I performing? If you feel the need to prove something, to defend something, to make sure they understand who you are, you're performing. And someone else is directing the performance. Instead, do nothing. Let the moment pass. Not because you're above it, but because you're finally seeing the game. And the only way to win is to stop playing their script. The next step changes everything.